Right, welcome everybody. And this is the weekly Bookmap Academy meeting, coaching and mentoring session. You guys know the goals, the introduction here is this is a program for Bookmap traders to. Uh,
Hey Bruce, sorry, you're still on mute on Discord.
okay. Okay, sorry about that. Let's try that again. Welcome everybody. And the Bookmap Academy coaching and mentoring program, our weekly meeting. For those of you not familiar with the coaching or the program here, it's open to anyone using Bookmap. That's it. Uh, all you need to do is sign up for the Academy here on this web page. Go to bookmap.com, click on the More button, go to Bookmap Academy, and sign up here. You will be journaling your trading activity and working through bettering your trading strategies through journaling. That's the whole goal here, and then we will be giving you feedback. And for your efforts, we will also give you Bookmap for free if you make the thresholds in the quotas. So it's one piece of content per day. That's it. That's all we're asking for. Mark up your chart. If you're trading all the time anyway, you'll be doing that. You'll be looking at your charts. And so, yeah, why does well get credit for it and get some feedback for it? Join the Bookmap Academy community. We're on Discord. Get feedback from other like-minded traders and have discussions with them, etc. You can read through this. It's an onboard program or pathway for to also become just a much better trader. So first you'll be applying for the Bookmap Junior Academy here. And if you make the thresholds for the Junior Academy, your content is good, then you'll be invited to the Junior Academy. And that's where it's kind of a testing ground. So for that month or the next month or month after that, if you make really good content and you threshold, then you will be invited to the Bookmap Academy. That's where you can get Bookmap for free. And if you double your quota, you can also get the stops and icebergs indicator for as well. And then if you want to take it further, you become a very good trader. Then at that point, you can become a Bookmap coach. And basically, you'll just turn around the same thing that you're doing, but you'll also be helping and assisting others in the Bookmap Junior Academy. And if you want to take it further, you can always go and be a Bookmap Academy streamer. Tom and Doug went this route. So if you've seen any of their streams over Discord channels. So that's the plan or the program. And let's go through the disclosure and a couple news items, and then we'll jump right in. General disclosure, all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Last chance here for the a Blue Jacket competition. This is our monthly Blue Jacket competition. And you can use your phone here, take a screenshot. It's a QR code there. Basically, since you're in the Bookmap Academy, you might as well also join this competition. You can win 3 months of Global Plus and 3 months of stocks or futures data. And you'll get 1 month of Discord Nitro as well. So might as well do it at the same time. If you don't like the Bookmap Academy, just sign up for the Blue Jacket. Make great content and see if you can win. All right, so a little competitive part to it as well here. And then we have a nice survey that Dan put together. So please, fill out the survey. We're looking for feedback from you guys. Have your say, what you think of the Academy program, etc. We'd love to hear from you. So I think Dan will be putting the link here in the chat as well. and it's just a Google form. It'll probably take you like 5 minutes or so to fill out. And that's it. All right, so let's jump in and start going through some of the content here. All right, so let's see. No coaches today, so it's just me. But we do have some Notion files from the coaches, and we're going to start off here. John, we went last time. Let's hold off a little bit, and Moby gave his comments here, and then we also have Trading is Life here. We also went over you last time, so yeah, we got one. We're going to start off with this one. That's fine. And, you can read the comments here from Moby. We'll just kind of briefly scan through them. Yeah, he recommends using your Trader Map Pro or Trader Map Lite to remove the algo bands. And then the footprint, a little hard to read. So I don't know if you want to look to that in Delta on the subchart in as well. I know Shark Baloo has been looking a lot into that. So Trading is Life, if you want to jump up here on the stage, I think you've got the hand there. You can come up to the stage if you like. And let's see here. Talking about VWAP levels, likes the use of it. This is from, and CVD and footprint confirmed buying interest, doubling up. So yeah, some nice little constructive feedback here. And he really likes your trade. So let's take a look at it, and then maybe you can also tell us more. Full screen with this. Okay. All right. So yeah, you got your CVD and you got your market pulse and price change. And liquidation point up here is what you're pointing to, that high liquidity. And that band, though, like Moby had said, is really kind of getting in the way there. All right, so you got this higher high or above the VWAP, and you enter the trade based on strong activity and footprint. Looking kind of hard to read. Also gave pretty nice feedback here. Price bouncing off the VWAP confirms the support. Don't quite see the bounce here. Higher high versus bullish trend, and then exited here. 9:45. I guess this is East Coast time, so this is range trade here up into higher highs. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, I guess we don't have a mic, or you not willing, not able to come up stage. Happy Thursday, Shark. All right. Well, anyway, this is there you are. Okay. So this is kind of different than what we went over last time. And you're still using your VWAP, but you're adding quite a bit more in terms of indicators on your chart.
Yeah, I kind of added the footprint. Took that from Dog, and I was seeing his post, and he kind of utilized the footprint, and I
Uh-huh.
wanted to implement that in my strategy as well.
Uh-huh.
But it's kind of hard to read, so my moving forward, I had took that out. It was just for more. If you look at my previous post, I had time and sales, so I was trying to replace the time in cells with the footprint so I can get more of a extra confirmation where to enter the trade. But it was kind of like I said, it's kind of to read, so I did remove that from there.
Okay. Okay. Um, yeah. I mean, I think uh, I like just as I had mentioned. I recall last time, last week we trade in markups, and a very very simple strategy, which was great, and it was also zoomed out in time, which was also great.
Mhm.
So um, and the simplicity is still here. It just seems kind of muddled though a little bit more with um, you're adding extra things on here. Actually, I think maybe taking away some things like this heat map in here is not serving you well. Go for the Trader Map Lite or Trader Map Pro. Show you. Here's the Trader Map Pro version compared and the Trader Map Lite here. See, to the regular hours here, really price act. But there's a bot in here in the in this version here, and you can see it here, right? And it's really kind of mucking up the chart. It's hard to read. I mean, here you have longer term liquidity here, here, and then in these areas here. That's not so bad, but this is hard to read. Whereas like at, let's see, 1545, if we jump over to Map Lite version, and it's free. So we jump over here, 55, you're going to see this much clearer, much cleaner. And that might be helpful. You can trade from this chart too, so it's no problem. And your footprint chart too. And if you put it on here, it's you'll probably you might be able to want to even play around with the settings in here, the heat map settings. Like you can kind of make this a lot starker, and you can also dim it. So you can still see the heat map in here, but see your footprint chart better if you like your footprint chart.
Okay.
Let's see here. Back to setup. Again, I mean, there's something really nice about the simplicity here. You're going with the trend here, and it would be good to see you trading from the chart. I think good to see like your entries and your exits. You'll see as we go through other people's content, when we do have that on the chart, it is much easier to give feedback because you did.
I started trading from the actually I made the transition this week. I'm moving forward, you'll see my entries and exits. I started trading from actual Bookmap itself.
Okay. And I don't know. I'd kind of just like to pick your brain a little bit. Think about you're kind of a new user here, and did some of these indicators help you, or are you just kind of experimenting? Just maybe how's your experience been so far, and anything we can do to help.
Yeah, well, it's been great. That's why I made the transition over. I was using TradingView and I transitioned over to Bookmap. Um, so it's more easier to read, and I'm more of a visual person. That's how I learn. I learn visually, and that's what Bookmap is basically is about, visualizing, so I can see where liquidity is at, where I can it's not user friendly. I'm gonna keep it honestly. It's not that user friendly, but once you play around with it, you'll start to get the use of it.
Okay. And what do you anything that kind of worked well for you? I mean, looking at now Market Pulse or your CV
The
footprint, these things, did they help or did they hurt? Or
well, the right now looking at this, I guess it looks very busy. But I took the footprint out. It definitely helps because I can visualize. I love the dots instead of the candlesticks. That works for me. Like I said, I'm a visual learner. Um, 99% of my posts you'll see is based off the VWAP and the anchor. Blue told me to use, Shark Blue, he's been a very mentor in helping me. So he's suggest I use the anchor VWAP. So I've been using that as well. And
awesome.
that's but I think this is if you're a visual learner, Bookmap is definitely the way to go.
Nice. Nice to hear. Um, okay. So another thing, like I'm sure Shark has probably told you, and we covered it last week with Shark, was in fact, let's just Shark, if you want to jump up here, let me invite you to speak. Um, and putting in your delta, and it's really easy to do. In fact, I can demo it here. Trader map light's fine. Shark, so um, what kind of settings are you using? I think you're just looking at uh, total volume and delta, right? Let's see here, time smart.
Am I audible?
Yes, there you are.
Yeah, so in the footprint legend, all I have is some volume
Okay.
and delta. That's it. Some volume and delta. Everything else is out of there.
Okay.
And I'm really kind of just amazed at how well seeing that increase in volume along with the delta reversal, just that one thing alone, how well it fits into my trade models and gives me that extra bit of confluence, that gives me confidence and or conviction to have a much tighter stop, maybe trade with a little bit more size, or to kind of just lean back in my chair and sit in that trade even if it rolls over on me a bit. um Really working out well. I still have quite a ways to go to figure out how to incorporate it into my entry criteria, but that's what I'm currently working on, is just pairing that up with uh different aspects of my trade model.
Yeah, yeah, sounds great. So, uh, trading is life. Do you know what we're talking about here with the delta down here?
No,
Okay.
I'm trying to keep up.
Okay. So it's a really good thing to do. So what it does is, and God, this is kind of a funny session. We're off to a funny start here. But anyway, worthy to go over because this is a very powerful tool here, and it's kind of a little bit kind of an aggregate or a higher time frame type of way of looking at things. And it's too bad AJ isn't in. He's got his own way of looking at delta and print. But what we're doing here, instead of showing your footprint chart as like a histogram here, or whatever it is that you're using, background and also as your text. Um, in this case, I'm just kind of taking them off, and then showing just only delta down here, and these are your um, bar data down here. So you can show the legend over here, or um, all these different configurations in here. You see them stack up one atop another. But what Shark is looking at is just buy minus sell on that one bar. And then it's this top number here. It says delta. You can see it negative, positive, negative, negative, or positive. And then the one underneath it is your total delta summation of buy and sell. This one here, sum of the volume. And so it gives you on that one bar, it will give you here. Let's just show the text maybe. On that one bar, like let's go over this one here. 6160 total volume here. So more volume on the next bar here. But look at the delta change. Okay, there's actually more selling, and it's almost equal to the buying over on this bar. Okay, so that's showing that maybe we're starting to see it get a little top heavy, and we're starting to see some selling coming. So
Got it.
so it's a really good one because it's an aggregate. It's kind of like your CVD. You know, if you see divergences in your CVD, this is going to be this. It's basically saying the same thing. You know, that there'll be, and then you know there's different ways to play it. I'll let Shark know, talk about that in its content. Uh, uh, yeah, you might want to wait until it hits high liquidity or exhaustion up here, something like this, absorption. So yeah, that's just wanted to cover that for you. Is there anything more you want to go over in your trade example?
No, I think I'm gonna look into the remove the footprint and add the delta because basically my biggest issue is that's why I added the footprint was looking for more conviction in entering the trade.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
where I'm at.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. And how is it going? Like in overall, like you've got a very simple, straightforward strategy, but it seems to be working pretty well for you.
Yes, it has been working, and I've been consistently went on a win streak thanks to Blue because he's been helping me to try to find my strategy, sort of find an edge, and it's been working for me so far. So it's been working. So
Okay. Great. Great. All right. Well, yeah. Thank you. And let's see here. Why don't we'll just jump over, John, if you want to jump up on stage. I think you've got some of your stuff. I actually we put your trade of the week in one of your pieces in the. I'll show it. I'll show it to you. Um, in the digest that just went out today is this trade here. I mean, it's just such a great example of reading massive support. I mean, just if this doesn't hit you over the head, I don't know. Looks like it kind of belongs in the MoMA or something, some modern art piece or something. But way to read it. I mean, Jesus, like here it's choose through it, massive bind. You even wait for a pullback here, and then you just take it up to your target. Made $6, you're done. And just a very simple read in the order flow here, and took your profit. So really, really nice one. So I don't know if John, if you want to, looks like you're still muted.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, now we can hear. Kind of
Thank you.
faint.
I was just going to say, full disclosure, I was just getting back from getting coffee when I when I bought that pullback. I may have been jumping in earlier with that large bubble, but with the large dot. But yes, it worked out nicely.
I was wondering about that pullback. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God,
Why
like
did he
that's
wait?
amazing
Oh, he's
patience.
good. No, it's just coming back from getting coffee. He's not that good.
'Cause I'm sure I would have gotten in there, somewhere in here as well.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
uh,
Especially with the red dots on the bottom of that big green bubble. I mean,
yeah,
that was really the trade right in there.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
hmm
yeah,
So I was
and yet
lucky.
it pulled back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, anything you want to go over on this one since we got it up?
No, it's really my same approach. Let me guess. looking at the gamma levels and verifying those levels in real time with the liquidity levels from Bookmap. So it's a merger of the option um, technology and the order flow technology with Bookmap. And that really frames up what I do. A very simple example. I'm glad you posted this because it represents a basis of what I do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's when some of these things they come and they're so straightforward, so simple. It looks like, oh yeah, I should be making $1 million, every month,
Hmm.
type of thing. But yeah, I mean, it does happen that some it just looks, it's just really telling you. I'm curious, like if this went up further, some of these areas.
I don't remember, Bruce, to be honest with you. I know what I've posted here and what I do is the most consistent path. Um, 408, honestly, I don't remember. I know that key gamma level, that's a key level. There's a lot of gamma right there to push through.
Yeah.
So I would think that that would be a bit of a challenge. I would certainly expect a retracement from there, which is not something I wanted to participate with. So, and that's why I had that in yellow highlighted because that's a huge level. The other thing that's key about this is that the hedge wall that's above that I show in magenta, what that represents is anytime prices that are below that level, you can expect an increase in volatility. And it's basically a price level that says you're in an unsafe area. So we're below that area. So I'm quick to take profits in this area. I'm a bit more bullish in general once we get up above those hedge walls on any of the stocks that I follow. And that's per spot gamma, and that's basis their model for how you apply that hedge wall.
Interesting. I
Yeah.
mean, like you're. This is such a beautiful image. I mean, look at how well aligned they
Hmm.
are with liquidity.
Hmm.
But there's got to be a lot of other players looking exactly the,
Hmm.
or well, I guess like they're also key levels. Got the
Yeah.
$5 levels here.
Yes. But most of the liquidity is right where my target, and
Yes.
that's key for me.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. Okay, great. So let's back see. So just comments from Mo. Nice
Okay.
trade, use of options with
Hmm.
liquidity right up here. Yes, in your trades he's impressed with. Yeah, he likes the monochrome. This is kind of funny. And okay. All right, so let's just take a quick. So okay, you got your spot gamma up here, and
Hmm.
maybe go over this quickly here. And this was you got your hero here,
Uh-huh.
and the purple line is price
That's
action.
no, the price action is in white.
Okay,
Hero is the magenta color, and it's a total of both puts and calls. And it just gives you the net influence of the option flow. And in this instance, what you're seeing is more traders are buying puts and perhaps even selling calls. But there's a net influence to the downside by what they're doing in the options market. And so prices generally respond to that flow.
okay,
So I generally you can switch between total, which is what you're seeing there, and put and calls, and that's where they'll separate. They'll give you two lines. They'll show you what the calls are doing, what the puts are doing. But
got you,
for my purposes as a futures trader, I just need to see the net.
got you.
And so, um, you have gamma, which is the change in delta. Hero is the change in gamma. So it's like the third change
Okay,
of how the option market is behaving.
Okay. So then you're seeing the S&P go down like this,
Yeah.
and then walk us through your decisions here based off of that.
Okay. Well, that's going to set up my short disposition. So um, over where I'm showing, first of all, I see liquidity down there at 6108, starting off with number two. Um, I know where the VWAP is. That's down below as well. So we're heading towards VWAP. And so there's um, 2 points in which I could place a target on that trade. So from hero, I'm looking for sell trades. I'm looking for sell trades only, short trades only. Um, and then you have some icebergs come in right where I got short. Um, and I was able to place my stop over local liquidity. And generally, when I see those icebergs come in, I get short and I just kind of hide behind them. You know, if they quit, I'll quit. And there was a bit of a push to the downside, and there was a non-trivial amount of icebergs. I can't read it; it's kind of blurry on my end, Bruce. Is that 200 or 300 contracts in box number three up there where it says iceberg sells?
Up here it says
Now,
icebergs.
now over where I have number three, yeah, inside that box
Oh
there,
boy,
the red
I
number.
can't read that.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's going to be at least 250, I think,
Okay,
because that's where I have my minimal. That's what I'm looking for. So
correct.
I don't care about the iceberg orders that are 25 in size. I want to see the big ones.
See.
Um, and you can see that faint line where it's showing the iceberg order right on that red dot. If you move your cursor down, yeah, see that faint line? That shows you that faint line going to the left, all the way to the left of the chart. That shows you how long that thing's been active. And then it finally fills. So they had been working on that for a while, that level, and then it finally fills. And then we get a push to the downside. I get my first target off. I wanted to get down to the liquidity, but then as you can see in number eight, I saw those buyers come in with those big delta dots. And I said, well, let me just take it off here. And I'll get most of it. I'll get paid some of it. And then just wait for the next one. Um, and then the next one came along, and it did happen on that one. The second term with basically the same trade, liquidity filled at number 10. We had a failure to the push to the downs to the upside. We had more ice come in, and I got behind ice again and came down. And so this time I'm showing you in Bookmap.
Oh, cool.
On my
Yeah,
account, I use
nice.
it. Yeah, on a lot of my accounts, I trade through Ninja, but on this one, I was trading my account,
Oh,
and
this is
so
great. Yeah.
you can see where my stop is above liquidity. But again, if that iceberg order should give out, that I'd be quick to take that off. Like I said, I'm just kind of rushing the hill behind all the other soldiers, and as long as they continue to the downside. So if you look at the next side, you'll see the progression, I think, of the trade. And
Yeah, I think yeah. Here's a continuation. Looks like your
yeah,
target just about to hit.
continuation. Got the first target off right. Yeah, and then I moved my stop down. That's what I'm showing. You see where I
Right.
moved my stop down on number 15. I'm still behind that ice though, but I'm still essentially at break even. Right. The next one. Oh, it actually filled. Now I brought my stop down to break even. Okay, next one. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
This one, or I'm jumping the gun.
No, that's it.
Okay.
Perfectly. So it went down. I was able to hit my limit and target hit.
Okay. So in this case, front running just by a couple ticks here, the high
That's right.
liquidity.
Always. Yes.
Always.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. And what that's not showing there is, that's the thing that's been so helpful with Bookmap is that it always has me looking forward. and that limit order was in first before I did anything else. Like on the previous trade, those limit orders at the target go in first.
Right.
I know where that's going to go, and then I come in and I might even put that first one on. Sometimes it's a little too close, but I always have that exit target in, and you always have to remember to cancel it, and manage your orders. But that's pretty easy to do in Bookmap. But so I do hedge it a couple of ticks, front run it a couple of ticks, and I try to get in as early as I can.
Okay. So these aren't you're not using like OCO or brackets. You're just putting in you're just
I'm
getting
putting them
in
in.
and
I'm
then you're
putting them in. Yep.
putting in
Yep.
brackets or not?
I'm not.
Not.
No.
Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah.
and actually, I I connect through Rhythmic, and I've been using Rhythmic's Dome for so long. I actually use it to enter my orders.
Oh, okay. Um,
I haven't done enough practice work, and I just know it so well. I have all my hotkeys set up, on Rhythmic, and so that's how that happens. But it's going to show up in Bookmap.
yeah, yeah, it will. Yeah, even if you trade from a different platform that's connected,
Hmm.
like you still can connect Bookmap to Ninja. Don't
Hmm.
support it.
Hmm.
Say you're kind of on your own. Like,
Hmm.
uh, if you trade from Ninja, they will show,
Hmm.
or you can fiddle with them, manage them from Bookmap, and then they'll also show onto. Uh,
Hmm.
um, wow. Okay. Let's see. Feedback in just again really concise trading article. I guess kind of bigger picture stuff because you saw this,
Hmm.
and I don't know at what point did you take the trade with relationship to this hero?
Well, you can see overall that, since early 3:15 or so Eastern, that the progression has been going down even before I draw my line, right? So overall, the option flow has been moving to the downside. Um, and so, this is pre-market too, but it's still valid. I mean, I use it every day. But if you can look at the time that I took the trade and then we can sync it. I don't recall. If you can go back and show where I entered the trade, what time it was. Can't see on these. All right, so I got in,
Three,
3:30,
five,
3:35 or so. Okay, so if you go back to the hero chart, what it was showing at that time, um,
five would be
yeah, it was still, we got that push down when I'm showing with the red, but starting at 3:12, 3:14 or so, it was starting to come down. Yeah.
wow. Yeah,
Yeah, I
great.
should have annotated. I should have annotated that a little bit better. But um, on the second trade where it actually pushed down, I felt pretty comfortable that we're going to hit my target because um, Hero fell out of bed, and that's what I'm showing with the red line.
So a question on this because Rob has been doing a lot of options and or using it as a confluence, and a lot of other guys as well. I know Scott Pulcini, uh, Trader Pete. Oh God, I can't even remember. There's a handful of
Mhm.
traders. I'm just kind of curious, like when you started doing that, and then how it changed your trading.
Well, it's really modeled off of Doug P's work, Doug
Gotcha.
Pless, and that's what really led me to look at it. And actually, it was about 4.5 years ago when you had a webinar when you had both Spot Gamma and Walter on. That started it right there. That webinar, um, I thought that's what I'm going to do.
Wow.
At
So you've
that
been
time,
doing this a while.
Yeah, I've been assembling the two together for a while. Yes, yes. But that helped me to learn Bookmap, and then I was just so impressed with Brent that I thought that this is what I'm going to do, or I'm going to quit, because I've been trading for a real long time. But you know, on range bound days I would do very well. On trending days I would give it all back, because I was basing my approach on Fibonacci levels. And like I said, range bound day, I nailed it. And I wasn't happy with the risk. And I remember in one of your webinars when I was trying to figure out Bookmap, you said, volume moves markets. And I thought, boy, if that's true, and I'm sure it is, I'm missing a big piece of this, because everything that I was doing was based upon price, retracements, extensions. And so that's where it started. But when I saw Brent in that webinar, I thought this is a perfect marriage. And the option markets had just exploded at that point. And then even further after, during COVID, when they were handing out money, and now in many instances it's larger than the underlying.
Yeah.
I mean, Nvidia is huge, Tesla's huge, and they are big drivers. And, so yeah.
Yeah, I can't agree more with you. Like how influential the zero DTE, all these like just more and more alternatives for
Hmm.
trading options.
Hmm. Hmm.
These new tools, good timing to get involved. Let's see, that's about it. Don't. This is weird. It's weird not to be able to like say, hey, David, what do you think? Hey, Jack, what do you think?
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't get the monochrome heat map. I guess it's just my eyes, but with the colors, I can see subtle differences and I can see the changes. I love it. I have I viewed some of the monochromed, and I didn't. Maybe for people that have trouble with colors, I don't know, but I'm very happy with with the color array from Bookmap.
yeah, yeah, me too. Too. I much prefer the you just get more input, or is it like seeing this kind of liquidity like right in here?
Hmm.
It'd be,
Hmm.
and you'll see it, but this just shows a lot better.
Hmm. In
Yeah,
fact, that one right there, that's not so good. When I saw that go from red to yellow, I was like, oh, geez.
yeah,
That's showing you a little less interest. And I remember seeing that thinking, ah, darn it. But then Hero was dropping out. So I said, I'll just follow along. Yeah. Yeah. But that's good information. And very difficult to pick up from an array of values, right? And that's what the last speaker was talking about. How he's very visual, as I am, and it's great. You can see it immediately. I think that's where Bookmap really shines, the visual um, format.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, okay. Well, yeah, great stuff. As always, like it's something to model. I love the way that okay, here you've got quite a big annotation in here, kind of your setup in here.
Mhm.
But then the way that you pare it down and only have a few now that uh, now you're managing the trade.
Mhm.
Uh, and and again, just only one comment
Mhm.
as this is progressing.
Mhm.
So really nice work.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's see. That was from. So thanks, Moby.
Yeah.
Let's see. Back. He's got Rob up here, which is great. Again, Rob, we're all really happy for you and your top step funded trader and stay the course. Rob, why don't you come on up? And uh, one thing I did note was your trading getting better in here, but not marking up your chart too much anymore.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there you are.
Okay. Yeah, I could do a little better on the marking up of the charts. It's just some days I have to put a whole lot of trades on, and then I forget little details later. So it's like when I mark up a chart, I got to do it right away, or there's just details I'm going to forget.
Got you.
But to me, I'm just basically doing the same thing every time. When I look for these reversal, I'm looking for the reversal to finish. These sweeps into this liquidity, and then it starts to turn around. Uh, and then I'll get in.
Right. So basically, this is you kind of see um, the move, the big move down, high liquidity getting filled on the bid, and in some of these areas, and then certainly here, and also big stop run.
Yeah, I think that's probably an institution that would be able to pull that off, right? That's probably not really an individual with these big sweeps, right?
Yeah, I mean, like someone just, once it kicks off the stops, there's just a lot of pain, and all of these guys. I mean, heck, I've been many times over, and there's the sweep, comes back up. They're still buying interest, still buying interest. Start to look for kind of your levels to where I test. But as long as there's buying interest, heck, it's your way of trading. Why don't you tell us more about it here?
Oh well, kind of similar to John that was just on before me here. I guess he uses Spot Gamma, but I use a different company called Mentor Q. Uh, Similar product. It's just gives me options levels that go onto my trading view charts. And they actually have an add-on, a price lines add-on, so you can get that Mentor Q, end of day futures options data to post on the chart in Bookmap. So I use that also, and it kind of makes a roadmap when I can see, okay, where's these call resistances at, and these GEX levels, and these put supports, and other things like that.
So, but here it's hitting your level down here. I see, which actually kind of drops. No, this is something else. This is the
Oh, that's the
day's activity.
where it's got the high, mid, and low
Yeah,
price. It's
yeah,
that add-on
yeah.
is what that is.
Got you. Okay, so we're down here, low a day, and then you're looking for a retracement back up to your options levels.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times in NQ, you see these start to fill out. These sweeps will happen, uh, and a lot of times it'll hit the liquidity and fill it. And then it starts to go the other way.
Yeah.
Say I had a couple losers right there, like between the two sweeps. There's an attempt I tried to go long,
Sure.
and yeah, that was a mistake there. That didn't work out for me. But then I got the other two that were winners. Once I could tell, okay, this thing's starting to move the other way.
Yeah. I hear you on that. I have the same kind of like issue in here. Like it starts to look. I mean, you do see that volume come in, and it's breaking some structure, and you're and they're fighting it here. And it's it's these guys in here that are capitulating down here along with others. And then in hindsight, it looks so easy. Just wait for high liquidity. Let it transact. Let the buyers come in, and then like this is a beautiful end.
Yeah. See, it starts to make that W type of a pattern,
Yeah.
and you got those big, I think they're probably institutional sweeps. They're pretty big volume, and then it just hits right there into the liquidity, starts to come back up, retraces, makes kind of that W pattern. And at that point, you can tell the buyers are in there. And I try to ride these longer, but then another rule I got like is if I'm negative, I at least want to save my butt from taking having a losing day potentially. So say I'm down like 200, I at least want to get myself back to zero. So I just have a very low tolerance for any sort of losses or risk. I'll cut it off pretty fast once I see that it's losing.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, like, and you've got all of that order flow education and years of training. Like, you've got a really good feel for it, sense of it. Like, I don't think this is bad here. Uh, it actually is a pretty good read. It just didn't follow through. Instead, and you got your sweep here as well. I mean, see it right there. It just didn't.
Yeah, and I had my stop kind of tight there, but it's just like hey, I'd rather just have the move work out immediately or just be out.
Yeah.
I just I mean that's just what works for me is if I can tell this thing isn't going the way that I thought it was immediately, then I just get out of there and wait for the next one. Because I'm just looking at our good old continuation patterns, basically. That's everything that I'm doing from the higher time frame stuff down to what we're looking at here in Bookmap. I'm going for those continuation moves, and I've just drilled it over and over and over again, and I got that trade journal that Top Step does. Because I have trouble with that with the Bookmap version syncing.
Oh, yeah, we got a fix on that. I showed that to the developers. I had the same issue, and it's working great for me now. So
Yeah. It would just not record some of the trades that I did, but with the Top Step one, it records every single one.
right,
So I have that sample size there that I passed the valuation with, and that's 137 trades. I sent you that in that in that DM earlier. Yeah, so you saw those results I got on there. So that's a good sample size. Once you got 100 plus trades, and you're just doing the same thing over and over again, that really builds your confidence up, and you're going, okay, I have a good plan here. I'm on the right course here, and it makes those losses not hurt as bad. Of course, you still get pissed off and angry and disappointed and stuff. That's just our human wiring. But it's you got statistics to lean on. You're going, okay, well that trade didn't work out, but I know over a course of a lot of different trades here, that the overall plan works. So I've just been getting more confident with it, and I'm basically just doing the same thing every time.
Yeah, Rob, that's just sounds so great. I mean, like Dan and I were talking, and we're thinking of maybe doing a having a webinar series on people that have passed their valuation accounts and trading some of these services. How do they do it? What, like some of the things that you just mentioned of leaning on the statistics, and then maybe talk about how you. So, I mean, you can maybe we can mention it now if you like, but like, how do you um, was it just through trading, or did you go back and kind of look at these and back test, or did you both, or did you use replay mode to build that confidence to the statistical?
Well, first it was kind of I just practice a continuation move on replay when I can. It eats up a lot of hard drive space, so it's I just record certain days because it's I mean you're talking like 500-600 megabytes a day, so it starts to really fill up your hard drive fast.
Yeah.
But like a particularly interesting looking day, I'll record it and go back and practice in there. But it's I was working on those continuation moves before, and then me and Trader Pete, we started to become friends and talk more and stuff, and he helped me tremendously. He passes these evaluations all the time.
That's,
He's pretty good at it. So he's been a good friend and everything. He's helped me out a lot. He'll get on the phone with me. He'll get on Discord with me. We'll talk for hours sometimes about this stuff. And then particularly adding in the options levels and stuff. He's really helped me out with that. He got me into that whole thing.
yeah, that's really great to hear. I mean, that I don't know if there anyone else out there who's trading these accounts past them, or has been making a living through them. So, Laura, I know that you've been that process, also kind of a mentor or being mentored by Robert Rother. So that's what we were thinking. Maybe we'll do this webinar series. Trader Pete is another one. Others that come to mind. Just bend your guys, or have us please give us some feedback on that, and we can all learn and look for more higher probability trades long run. Anyway.
That would be kind of interesting. Have like that time you had all the institutional guys. You made a whole week out of that. That was pretty cool. So maybe having a week of people that are good at doing prop firms, having a prop firm week, kind of like how you had that institutional guys week.
Yeah. So let us know. Anyone else out there who's gone that route and has some things to share. We'll put the event together, and would love to do it. The sooner the better, basically. So let us know. Let's see. What else does have here? Jack. This was, I think. Yeah, this is just a detail here. You can see it here. So interesting. So you're not taking a profit, like you're not looking at high liquidity up in here and taking your profit from that. You're trailing. That seems to work best for you like this.
Yeah, I think that reduces my risk a little bit. Because like people complain about commissions sometimes, but it's like I don't care if I have to put on 30, 40 trades a day if I'm making them really low risk. You know, if I can sit there and make $600, I don't care if I have to pay $100 worth of commission. You know, so I just try to really cut the risk out as fast as I can. You know, once I start to see that thing take off, you know, then I trail my stop up. So I'm at least break even. And then if the thing really starts to move, I keep on trailing it. And I'm really hoping it'll go towards this further away target. So it's just kind of like most of these, you know, they're intended to be longer trades, you know, lined up with those option levels and what the liquidity is showing me. But then there's just times where I start to see it not go according to plan. You know, something will happen in there that tells me it's time to get out.
Right.
Or sometimes I'll just be sitting there. I'll be like, oh, okay, I just made a $400 profit. I better just take this now. And then I can always come back in later, and that builds a buffer. You know, you get a first couple of wins, and then you've got a buffer. You can keep going if you want, or if it's a frustrating day in the market, you can just be like, okay, I made my profit here. I'm done.
Yeah, yeah, sounds great. The only other suggestion that comes to mind, Bob, is I mean, you got your trade management systems that seems to be working well for you. So, you know, stick with it. But I really liked John 412's approach there. David does the same thing too. He does a little differently of paying yourself, creating that buffer, like you just said, and then building your. So yeah, I don't know if and you can always you guys reach you know, talk to each other in the chat in the Bookmap Academy or uh, whatever. Heck, maybe we'll do an event on that one too, like risk management, how you guys are managing your risk and being able to pay yourself, create buffers, protect your downside, and because it's just such an important part of trading. And you know, you can make you have a 50-50 edge, but you just manage it well. You can make a really nice living out of something like so anyway, just some thoughts there. That's it, Rob. That's all I got for you. I mean, everyone's really proud and happy for you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you've helped me out tremendously with it. You know, I watch your stream all the time whenever you're on. So just like over the last couple of years, you know, that's you know, you've helped me a lot be able to with being able to read order flow the way I can now. You know, and then also Pete and some others. You know, so it's you know, we've got a lot of good people around here helping each other out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's your order flow reading skills are excellent. And what I think it's so pleasing to see that yeah, I mean, highly skilled in the order flow, uh, and now you've got a higher time frame filter here, and you've got a management system behind it. So these three things, like, together is what it, you know, is making us. It seems to be making a tremendous difference for you.
Yeah, yeah. So that's I mean, that's about all I can really say about it. Um, I suppose I could be doing a little bit better job with marking up the charts and stuff. It's just sometimes I might be doing 30, 40 trades a day, and then I'm just going, oh, how am I going to mark this up exactly?
It's okay, Rob. Just stay the course. You're doing great. All right. So let's just keep it like that for now.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
well, I'll let you move on to the next
Yeah,
person
we're
here.
gonna move on to Laura. So
All right. Thanks again.
okay. Yeah. Thank you, Rob. Laura, I don't know if you want to step up on stage or not, but I'll invite you up anyway. Uh, taming the bitchy cat. All right, I like it. Look at that. Got a name on it. And let's take a look at this one. Okay, so you got the open here, and it looks like you got on Chicago time, and got your opening range breakout. Okay, and then the move right below it here. This move we see all the time, and then now we've got a shift, and there's the bitchy cat formation. Let's see here. Okay, so it looks like your trade, looks like you're in here. Get the pen. So it looks like you're in here, and then looks like you added in here and then took some off here. Is that right? Stephen, you took this short as well? Trades, first break even. Okay. Oh, I see it. Okay. Yeah, I see it right in here. I see the blue. Okay. So so you got in, you got out really quickly. Why? I'm wondering why you did that. It was, I mean, it looks like it's you've got your setup. I mean, maybe I can see some things in here. Like it's a little unclear here. Like there's volume bars as well as the move here. So bigger move, nice volume on the buy side, actually coming right back, and but then it made a higher high here. Okay, so it broke this little structure, and then it made a higher low here. So it's still you're not out of the woods yet. However, I just love your setups. You've got this sell volume in here that you're leaning, and now at that point, like you wait for your pullback to that area. Okay, I mean we're putting together a small course on trading some of these things, and I mean this is it. This is one of the setups in here, and this is we're looking at the aggressive supply and demand in here. So this is where the aggressive sellers came in. Now we have a lower volume pullback on the buy side here, okay? And that's where you got in. So this looks really good to me, but you got right out as well. I guess you put it to break even maybe too quickly. So next image. And then this one here basically is kind of similar setup in here. Okay. Yeah, let's jump over to the next image then. Yeah, okay, we can see a little bit better. So yeah, maybe a little too quick on that. It's still kind of chopped around in here. What it looks like. Here you're looking for a pullback all the way back up and then chased it down. Okay. Out of supply demand. Liquidity. That looks good. And yep, your target right in front of that liquidity. This is beautiful stuff, Laura. Oh, might fall through. So okay, then a little bit. Okay, your entry after retest of the oh god, what is the OR L stand for? Range breakout and then L. Oh, okay, got you. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah, and a beautiful, you know, right down into, so see you got about here, so that's 530, let's call it. Wow, like a 40 point move, uh, matter of a few minutes here, like a minute. Yeah, yeah, really nice read, really nice move. Still, I'm a little unclear on the above is fading, and then um, the order flow read in here. I'm not too quite of it. I see your purple line here. That's your low. And But what was the justification for the entry in here? Why? I mean, wouldn't I mean originally you put it up here, and I could actually I see that, like, it makes good sense. Maybe the move would come back up into here. Maybe it would make it to here, but like here for sure, it looks like it should. The buyers are still fighting it in. They're still coming in, and then we don't. It looks to me like not sure that this is done yet here. They kind of go below that little swing, and maybe it can come up a little bit further before the drop. But whatever it is, I mean, you certainly nailed it, and you took a great profit here, right in front of that high liquidity as well. It went through it, but again, you see those buyers come right back in and take it back up higher again. So pretty choppy price action, but you took out a real nice chunk sell side here. Okay. I love the name. It's fantastic. And it is a bitchy cat. I mean, it's moving back, it's moving forth, it's moving back again. And the fight in here, you see that, you can see it in here. And then I'm kind of surprised, like Rob's showed the capitulation into and the sweep into that high liquidity. But you can see that all those buyers they're still fighting it, still trying to come back in here. So maybe we got it more in the next. That's it. Yeah, that's it. These two images. Okay, Caesar, you got to run. Actually, we did have some content for you as well. You've been a model, Caesar, since joining the academy. Let me just show people, if you don't mind. Try to bring that up here. Hold on just a second. It's in here. Yeah, I mean, you can see Caesar's in here, like, you know, he's got just about every day in here a piece of content, and he's looking at his VWAP strategies, and he's marking them up, the title, topic, and putting in the platform, and this is great. And it doesn't, you know, we're not looking for a ton of stuff in here, just quality, and just one per day. So the quantitative threshold is pretty low, in my opinion. Just one per day. So Rob, like, I guess that kind of goes back to you. Just take one of your best ones, and I implore you guys. You're doing it for the community and for the academy, but you should be doing it for yourself. Number one. Okay, so that was a big part of the academy, is that you're marking this up for yourself. So go back and like John, you know, 412, like, he's doing a fantastic job marking up his trades and his follow through in his trades. But just, you know, stick with one, and one that helps you better understand your trading, and then try to articulate that to others, so that get that point across, and that's when you basically, like, you know, you become an expert in something when you know that you can teach it to others. So try to, I don't know, that would be the goal here. It is a big part of the academy. It really is. So it's just, we want to make it clear to others as well. Okay, so I would recommend, Rob, don't be overwhelmed by all the markups and everything. Uh, just do one, but make sure that you're getting something out of it, right? Anyway, thanks, Caesar. Got to run. I got you. Let's see. And thank you, Laura. So that was good stuff as well. Keep going the course here. Laura, we might have to have that webinar for you in German. I don't know if you're up for that, but we can, maybe do it with Robert Rother or something. I don't know, and cover some of his students or something like this. Just some ideas in here. Anyway, Laura, just really like your work, and you've come a long way in a very short period. Anyway, let's see. What else do we have in here? So I got, this is Malek, I believe, is Black Sun strategy in here. Malek is in here. And then Caesar, yeah, I've got Caesar as well. Let's see. Yeah, Caesar, if you're still around, you still got a few more minutes, or did you? Looks like you jumped. Okay.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay, excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. I've got a couple for you, and I think maybe let's start off with this one here. Yeah, because you're looking into your VWAP, and just yeah, walk us through a little bit about the VWAP, what you're doing.
Well, it's part of my journey through here through Bookmap. You know, when I first started, I was a commons pivot trader. I'm sure you remember. And futures is so prevalent in here. I started looking more and more into it, and it lined up more with my my mindset. So everyone in here and multiple people showed me how good VWAP works on futures. So it's been over 6 months of just straight VWAP trades on futures. And yeah, just reading the order flow on when we get to the VWAP, which isn't too dissimilar to when I was doing pivots, where I would see, okay, I need to see what happens at the pivot, right? So these were two screenshots I shared yesterday. This is the ideal order flow I want to see at the VWAP. So you can see down on the histogram, we actually start seeing the volume fade out before we actually get to the VWAP. Yeah, exactly right there. That's why I put that white bar there, because you can see the last large volume push was actually before we got to the VWAP, and then you see the sellers starting to get a slight edge as we get into the VWAP. Looking at it now, we actually get a little mini head and shoulders, but we get a nice Matterhorn pattern, which is something learned from Doug, where you just get that straight peak up and, you know, a little tiny exhaustion print up there into a wall of sellers. So there's two things going on here that I see. If we're gonna push past the VWAP, we have someone there saying, I'm waiting here. If you want to push through it, you're gonna need a lot more ammo. And we see the ammo just isn't there. So we get a beautiful reversal back to the lows. And you know, this is a quick and easy one where there's no hesitation, right back down to those previous swing lows.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice one. I mean, like, I think this is, I just love this kind of content. I mean, like, there's some other comments I have for you, like, Trader Map Pro or Trader Map Lite is going to show you this
I
better.
had it, but something happened and I had to restart my computer, so I lost the Trader Map Lite since it only loads. Yeah, so I had to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And here, just like, let's just disregard VWAP for a moment here. Here's what you've got. Here's your supply. Here's your aggressive demand hitting into the supply, and then look at the sellers come in. Now, you get this kind of chopping around, and this looks like the NQ. I know it's the ES, but the way that this is moving. Anyway, then you get the move back up to where it dropped from, and what do you got up here? Okay, go over VWAP the last. But I mean, you've got some really nice confluences. Like you say, you're all of sellers. This was where they met before, and this is what the supply is telling us again. They are interested. They were interested here and they transacted. They're at the same price level and they're below it. Okay, that's meaningful. You know, they want to. They're front running that area, now that's the just on the passive side. We've got it here. So this is passive liquidity, and being in front of it as well. Then let's take a look at the aggressive supply here. So this is where it came in here, and strong move, and then we get a move back up to where those sellers really came in and are controlling the market from this point. They are in control, and this is why we see like these big moves. And heck, we can look at candlestick charts all day long and look at the same thing. You know, where a move unfolded, and then look for pullbacks to it. You know, all day long, same type of thing in here. So try to find, well, yeah, here. I mean, just look at this big drop here. Sellers in control, certainly. Okay, look at the pullback, and this is a big move here. End of the day, and then look at this pullback, but the sellers remain in control. Anyway, good stuff there. And then
And actually, Bruce, I wanted to say one more thing looking at this chart now with you. If you like draw a line at the 6086 level where we have the top of that consolidation, you know, you would consider that a small breakout level. Yeah, right around there. You know, we have the rejection exactly right there. You want to see volume pick up on a breakout of those levels, right? And we don't have that.
I'm sorry, I'm not
So,
following you here. Like
so
breakout of what level?
well, we have a small consolidation, like you said, there in that range, right? It's, you know, what do we got? 10, 10 to 10, about 15 minutes of consolidation, right?
Up
In
here.
this range that you said, no, below the line that you just drew.
Okay, all of this here.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And when we get out of that level, volume doesn't pick up. You see the histograms, you know,
Yes.
had a little bit of a whimper. So there's no volume supporting that move.
Yeah, this is a really nice detail, Caesar, because here's the swing, right? And people are like, oh, okay, well, you know, it's breaking the swing, bullish, but these guys remain in control. So now you've got to retest back up to that aggressive supply that's in the market, and like you said, it's a whimper compared to see over
Yeah.
here. So you've got the aggressive supply, and you've also got the passive supply, telling you a lot. Now throw your VWAP in on top of that, you got a beautiful. I'm sorry, I've been talking a lot, Caesar. Why don't you, I'll step back and walk us through a bit more what you see or did, and it's helpful.
Well, like this one was so simple. I think we pretty much covered it all. And I mean, that's why it's so ideal for me because I don't think it gets any simpler than this, right? And the volume histogram just continues to be like as important as anything on that chart to me. The last thing I wanted to point out is once we retrace that move, we have that upside down V to the downside. You actually see the selling volume on the histogram stay steady and pick up to the downside.
In this area here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice stuff. I don't know, like just another comment in here. It can be rather tricky to trade this kind of price action, because I mean it's so whippy, and you know, it's going like this is a 10-point bar, and then it retraces, you know, another 5, 6, 7 points, chops around, and then breaks out again to the upside into here. It's kind of, I mean, you know, I it's hard to look for this to turn around and drop. Um, and where would you be getting in? You know, you be maybe zoomed in, and maybe you'd be getting in here when you start to see those sellers come in. I don't know. It can be a challenge a lot of times. Like, I- um, I don't know if anyone has anything to say on this one. Raise your hand, and if you want to come up and have any comments on this. But uh, you're just
To
kind
me,
of
the
going along.
passive,
Go ahead.
the wall of sellers makes this one easy because I know where I'm wrong, right? So I've got the order book structure in my favor. I've got some big players that are having a similar idea to me. So in this case, I know where I'm wrong. If the buyers take out this at level, okay, I'm happy to admit I'm wrong here, right? But if this wall of sellers wasn't here, it would definitely be more difficult to pick the entry.
So are you just, setting a limit up here? And or do you see this move up here and then you just say, okay, well, this is good enough, and then market sell?
Well, I would like to, and I've done this before, put in half size order here.
Yeah.
And, I'm just taking a swing at it. If I take a loss, it's not a full size loss. I can manage it and get that back. And then once we get something like the price action here, where it kind of looks like a little mini head and shoulders on the right side of the sell side, where we kind of consolidate for just a minute, around the 60.85 level, you probably retested your 9 EMA or key moving average in there. And boom, the move keeps going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly there. Get in full size there. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. Spreading it out a little bit and looking at more of a zone that way to kind of reduce or minimize the risk. I mean, it was nice to hear, like, if it's a half size, I can win that back. You know that you can get that back.
Yeah.
You're not hurting yourself. So yeah, nice one, Caesar. Really great.
Thanks, Bruce.
We got one more here. I'd like to go through. So you got your higher time frame. Yeah, why don't you walk us through a little bit what you were looking at, and
Well, the previous trade was an inside out trade. So obviously from the VWAP back out of the range, and this one's from outside in. We've had some pretty crazy ranges the last few days. This is from yesterday, and you can see every time we touch that third standard deviation, I mean, it is rare that we would spend some significant amount of time outside of that third standard deviation, which is that gray dotted line. Yeah, so once we get a reversal candle at that level, I anchor a VWAP to it and just be patient and watch. Um, in this case, sometimes we get like just a nice push up and then a retest. In this case, we consolidate, but we don't make a new low. And on the order flow, you can see that that low is just, again, a little whimper. The second test where I even highlighted exactly, the volume was 5 contracts printed at that low. So that's a pretty good sign that the auction's over. We saw on the passive order book, yeah, where you just circled, we have some buyers starting to show interest and passive buyers. So we have some support. And opposite to what the chart we just looked at on the histogram, you can see as we push out of that little consolidation around the third standard deviation, we get that nice strong volume increase. No, on the Bookmap side.
here, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what you want to see, a strong push of volume breaking us out of that range. And eventually we rotated back up to the VWAP. Obviously very rotational days this week.
Yeah,
But yeah,
nice.
these moves to third standard deviation seem to be, you can see it twice on this chart. It's obviously nailing the entry is not easy because the move happens so fast, and obviously like you're trying to like catch a bottom, which is where the anchored VWAP and Bookmap come in. Like we know what buyers the ship turning looks like. You can see it much clearer on Bookmap, and being able to see the passive buy orders and how many contracts were printed down there is super important to know. Okay, this is a higher likelihood of working.
Yeah. So where are you getting in? Are you looking for it right in here on your anchor?
No, that would be too extended for me. At this point, I would get in like when we get a little bit of extension of the anchored VWAP and we see it hold that red line there on the candle chart. That's where I would look to start a trade. And in this case, I'm not sure I would look to add just because again you're going counter trend, but seeing the book map here would be a clear signal. I can take a little bit more risk and add into this when you see the volume confirming, the passive buyers confirming, and that little tiny print when we couldn't make it in low.
Okay, so I'm confused. Where are you looking to enter?
So once we see that anchored VWAP hold, that line that you're on right now, I would look to enter there.
Okay.
But even back here, we got a bit, once we first start that consolidation phase, uh, like the fourth, fifth candle after the doji where I anchored off the low candle, we can see that, yeah, exactly down there. We can see that anchored VWAP start to hold. We do lose it for a bit when it looks like we're going to break down lower, but the risk would be a new low or something like that.
Okay. Okay. So then help me out. Like in Bookmap, isn't this here the same as this here?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
So
that's beautiful to add.
okay. So this is your entry is someplace in here. Maybe you're kind of looking at this liquidity, and then maybe some buyers start to come in after that, or something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Once the order book's in my favor, uh, that makes it a lot easier to start looking for a location to get in and using the liquidity to determine stops.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice stuff. Yeah, this is really great. Great to see Caesar. So yeah, commend you on this. Some really very simple but powerful things, and also marriage with maybe a little higher time frame, or different uh, confluences in as well.
Hmm.
So you got your outside inside out, and then your outside in trade, and you can see the choppiness of the move back candlestick chart. In fact, this is kind of scary candle in here, this white one.
Yeah,
So it kind of looks like it's ready to drop again, but the buyers struggle in here, this whole little area in, but managed to
but if you look at Bookmap and the volume histogram, it's not as scary because there's no
totally.
real,
I was about to say
there's
that.
nothing in there.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like in here, this doesn't look scary. In fact, this looks really good. Not only the volume that you pointed out here, but also this right here looks great.
Yeah, where's the sell volume on the histogram? Nothing. Where's the big red candles? And the liquidity is just great.
Yeah,
And I always go back to what I learned from people in here and the guys you've had on, like Thor and Nate. Their whole system's based around, doesn't matter, what you're looking at, but it's got to have a when, a where, and a how. So, like the VWAP example, that happens all the time. You can see similar examples here, but until it happens where at the VWAP or at the standard deviation, then I'm not interested, right? Makes things easier so I can focus on it happening. I know what I want to see and where I want to see it.
yeah, yeah. Great. Wow, really nice. Very objective and thought through, and really nice work, Caesar. Spreadsheet. Is like I said, we're not looking for a ton of stuff in here, but very thoughtful. It was marked up. You have a strategy. You have a higher time frame strategy around it. You've got a management system around it. You've got an edge on that higher time frame at the order flow to support it. So yeah, really stuff.
Thanks, Bruce.
Um, guys, I think that's it. That's it for this session. So, Caesar will, or I'm sorry, Stephen and Vinny, we got you kind of marked up for next round. And, anyone else? Anyone else in here who's new? Well, please fill out your spreadsheets and start making some content. Come into the community. You can ask some of these guys in here to give maybe some advice or some assistance, and have at it. Go through this. We got this whole process lined up for you guys, like in the academy. So make your content. You're going to become a better trader. Heck, you might as well sign up for Blue Jacket as well as you're creating your content, and maybe you win and you can have a little bit of a buffer before you become Bookmap Academy, and get free access. Then become Bookmap Academy, become a coach, get data for free as well, and then come back and start to give back and a little bit of coaching and mentoring to some of these guys, and take it much. So yeah, thank you everybody. Thanks. Great trading. Great stuff in here. All of you. Some really nice work. Yeah, keep it up. And we'll meet up with you guys on, well, we've got the All Markets webinar tomorrow, and we'll see you in the Academy meeting next Thursday. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.